Good day, traders. This is Rich with some price action on the weekend. Currently 10/16, November 14th, Saturday. Markets are closed. Just decided to do a quick video on this week's price action on one of my trades, or should I say three of them. It was an interesting week. I just want to go over this because I want to show you what I went through on this particular day, which is on the 10th of November. And I think I'm going to start doing this, hopefully this over the weekend, weekly, to go over some of my best trades, some of my bad trades. Obviously, if I have a monster trade, I'll go over that. And if I have a monster down trade, I'll go over that. But this one I just want to go over, which is like a multiple trading scenario. What I'm looking at, what my thought process is, and what I'm looking for on this particular trade. Now, on this day, I was looking at Boeing. The markets had opened up already. We're looking at 934, so I was comfortable with TradeStation working. I was comfortable with Boeing opening, that it was opened up. And now I am focused on certain levels based on the pre-market action. And you can't really see it right now because the pre-market's not posted in this video, but Boeing did make some highs in like the 184 level. You can see from yesterday. So I knew that if it broke above this opening price, which you can see right here is 183 high, open at 182.80. So you can almost get in on a 182.80 break. And look for the break of the 183. So I had the right idea here. The thought process here was, okay, we're going to break 183 and we're going to rip. You can see the 15-minute candles down here below on 11.9 that it made these highs off the Pfizer news, and we jumped from like 155 to like 175 and are gradually climbing up with a pullback at the end of the day, yet the day before, and now we're going to try to make new highs. So that was my theory. There's a lot involved here, but it kind of just shows you this is not a bad looking spot to get in a trade. But just watch. Let's go over and watch what happens. What I'll do is I'll play the video. And again, this is 9:34 in the morning. And right now I haven't taken a trade yet. I'm looking at Boeing, and the video will discuss everything. Okay. So right here, I just entered a trade looking for the 183 break. I got in at 182.91. Look at the prints at 183. Look at the 183 on the level 2. I'm noticing something. If you notice something right away, what's the first thing you notice? We took out 183, 188 left, hidden sellers at 183. I should have instantly gotten out of this trade. So let's watch what happens. I'm thinking it's still going to break the 183, and it just rips down. I'm in for 200 shares, and it rips down. With the bids drop off, but I'm watching the prints here, and once the prints kind of print below 50, I believe, I get out, and that's when everything just kind of, I'm just angry at the moment because it's coming back up, and I still think it's going to break the 183. I'm really comfortable with it, but then it breaks the 50, or it doesn't even break the 50, and I bail on it, and I'm already down $80. So immediately it comes back up to 183. What do? Hidden, pop to 183.08. Okay, so it did a little buy stop run there, and again, this is for my own sake. I should have gotten out of this trade right away. It went to 183.08. If I go, I'm not going to go back because it's going to kind of ruin the video, but it popped to 103.08, pulled back, and now we're looking at another challenge at 183 again. So let's watch. So they're just toying with the stock, and it's one of those things I probably should just walked away from Boeing, but watch what happens here. Continue to stay in it, and it just drops right back down to the 50 level, and I get out. So I'm down $163. And here it comes again. It drops to 182.14. Did you notice that? We got some prints at 14 right there. Even 10 maybe. And I'm still watching Boeing, and I'm like, this is going to go. You can see the chart here, 2-minute chart with this above. I mean, it's sizing up for me to take this trade. But it's one of those things where I can't consistently keep going after it thinking it's going to break. I popped through the 183.08 level, and I think that was my chance. It didn't work. I should walk away. But here I am thinking, okay, we got some more to go. So I'm going to pause for a second, let it catch up, and we'll continue on. So this time around, we're watching the price action grow, and notice how we have a 71 on the ask, but watch how the momentum builds here. And this is why I decide to get in once again. I'm down 163 on the day on Boeing. I'm looking at a third try here. Just got in there, thinking it's going to break. Look, 183 prints, 183, hitting it still hitting at 183. Again, I said to myself, it's got to go. But then I decide, okay, I got to get out of this thing. It's not going at this particular, it's just not going to go. So I get out pretty quick, I believe. Yeah, I got out there. I'm down 229. So that's 3 trades on Boeing. And guess what? I decided to get in again. So this is not good trading right here. This is the 4th trade, 300 shares. I'm like, it's going to go, dude. This has to go. If it doesn't go this time, I'm out. I cannot think that way, though. It's just the type of thing where, look, more prints at 183, but watch what happens here. Boom. It rips. I'm in for 300 shares. I'm getting sales off now. I'm riding it up. Now, remember, when I take my sales down here, I'm actually getting fills up there. It just allows me to get a better covering. This was a bad fill here, I believe. I think I just want to take some off. You can see my P&L up here from 263 was it, I believe, and I'm cutting that cushion pretty well. I have 150 left. Boeing, 184 is the next real target on this one, and then above that would be, even better. It just has a lot of momentum now that it broke that 183. They were trying to hold it down. So I set 184 here, 50 shares. I have 150 left out of the 300. Obviously, if I held it all, this area 184 would be $300. Instead, I'm at a close. I'm only at like 100 on my gains. But here it comes for 184, and I believe I get filled on this move here. Yeah, so rips through 184. And now I'm in green territory. I'm feeling pretty good about this particular trade. And, I have 100 shares left. And notice how my quantity switches to 25. So I take 25 off at a time going up. I'm looking for the bigger move. I'm still down 96 on Boeing. So I'm thinking trade the chart, trade the tape, watch level 2, look for the 84 break. It needs to rip. Needs to get to new highs, and if it does, I gotta take some off. So I set one at 84.50, and Boeing's just on fire right now. I'm like, okay, I gotta hold this thing the best I can, but I do need to take some off. I really want to take some off the best I can. It's just frustrating that I think I canceled there thinking I could set it to 185. But then, of course, what stocks usually do is they pull back. You can see here on the chart, it's pulling back into the 183s. So I took 25 off, but it just wasn't, ideal to take off because it pulled. That was just what the stock needed to do. It needed some breathing room to pull back. Okay, if we go back to 183, I'm upset, of course, but the the EMAs are up, the 200's up, we're breaking out, and I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna make some really nice highs here. So I'm still riding Boeing here with 75 shares. And I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so it's starting to turn back up again. You can see the little the wick forming here, but watch this little rip here. Remember, I'm in for 75 shares to get a nice breakout of the highs of 84.40 here, and then it just rips. I mean, this thing just gets going. It ends up being the trade. We're hitting 84.76. I put 25 out, 80. I believe I get filled. Yep, I'm down to 50 shares. I'm almost at break even on those 3 losses. I mean, ridiculous. It's just the frustrating part where it hopefully would have done this the first time around. I'm in for 50 shares. I maxed out at $100 on 50 shares right now, pretty much 2 points. And I continue just to ride Boeing for a while. Gets me back to break even for sure. I know I'm in break even territory. I'm not going to let this go down too far, but I'm looking for the monumental move, and this is where I have to say to myself going forward, you have to hold, You have to hold, be strong. You take some off. You definitely take some off, but you got to try to hold some shares because the bigger moves with more shares is more money, obviously. I'm not really focused on the money. I'm focused on the tape, but the tape is kind of telling me we have more momentum ahead and you shouldn't get out of this stock. There's no sense to take things off a little early, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, I just lost on it. Like we just blew through 85 right there. I believe it gets shortcut on the 185.50, and I get upset. No, I get ripped there. So I get 25 off on that one. So that was very nice. So now I'm positive $42. So if you remember where I started from on those three trades, was it 243 or 263 down? I forgot exactly. Probably I can go back and look, but I'm not going to. But you get the point here. Hey, if I had my 300 shares and I was still holding my conviction on this trade, 183, I mean, come on. I needed to just hold this thing. I just needed to hold this thing. We're looking at almost 3 points here, 85. I think it gets to 180. I think it just keeps going. And 300 shares, 3 points, that's $900, right? So, yes, I need to take shares off. I probably could have taken, my first sale could have probably been 50 shares or even 25 shares just to get a little piece. But look at this thing blowing through 186. Okay, so that pretty much shows the power of a stock that's in play. Boeing's not always in play, and I still trade it, and I probably should focus on other stocks and not really focus on Boeing. But I think based on the previous day's price action, you can see here that the continuation of this move was worth trading. I just got stuck in that early trade, 3 trades on Boeing and lost. But if you notice on those trades, I kept each loss small. The unfortunate part was it didn't really go that far against me. In for 200 shares, I believe. Then I was in for 300 shares. Then I was in for 300 shares. I was giving myself 50 cents usually on those trades. And it was just one of those things where I don't know. Should I stayed away from this thing? I don't think so. I was pretty confident in where this was going. I just didn't. I saw the hidden sellers. I probably should have walked away and maybe set a buy stop limit on quote order or something like that. But it's just one of those things where you don't, and you have to rethink it. And that's why I'm going over it with you guys today. So this was my thought process pretty much on this particular trade. I'm going to get some off at 187 here, I believe. I think it rips through 187 if I'm not mistaken, but I could be totally wrong. Problem with when you do an odd lot like 180 or 5 shares, you don't get the fills like people are trading 100 shares. Obviously, if it blows through 187, I'm going to get filled, but like 187 asks will get filled on bigger share size. Let's just see if it finishes here at 187. If not, I'll close out the video. So this pretty much sums up the Boeing trade. I believe was on, what day was that? It was on the 10th. And, there were some good things about it. There's a lot of bad things about it. It was unfortunate that I got in those two or three early trades and didn't get the full exposure to this trade because this trade was about, we're looking at, if it was we'll call it 250 plus 100. So we're looking at about 350 on this particular trade on 300 shares. So if that helps you with some motivation for the weekend, so be it. I'm going to close out the video. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the video, or subscribe to the channel, and I will be back next week. Here's me setting a stop loss down here with my last 10 shares. I've spoken about my getting some small shares off. You can see, no commissions goes a long way. Just letting it run, let it run. I have a potential to make $40 on that 87 sale, but if I have to sell it at 186, it's 31. So that's $10. I mean, it adds up. Anyway, not gonna worry about it. You guys have a good one, and I will talk to you on Monday.